Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business. Joining me today is Beth Potter, who is President and CEO of the Tourism Industry Association of Canada. Thanks for joining us today, Beth.
My pleasure, Mario.
Well, you as an association have launched a campaign to reopen the U.S. border. Tell me a little bit about that, about the reasons behind that campaign and why it's important now to reopen the border.
Well, as you know, the tourism industry has been hardest hit by the pandemic and the restrictions that have come along with the health measures in order to keep Canadians safe. The border has been closed these past 15 months, and that has meant that many tourism businesses, in fact, all tourism businesses have been impacted, in some way, shape, or form. Some businesses have not been open at all for 15 months. And we have, as an industry, displaced more than 500,000 of our employees. And we want to get them back to work. We want to get them back to work, and our business owners want to get back to work. Now, a few weeks ago when we were talking about this, we were in the middle of a pandemic, the third wave, and it wasn't time to talk about opening the borders. But as the numbers are coming down on the case counts, as more and more people are being vaccinated, as provinces are making access to second vaccines more readily available, we thought now is the time to start talking about a plan to reopen the border.
Okay. Can you give me a bigger sense of, is there any dollar figure attached to what the pandemic has done in the last year or so to the overall tourism industry in the country?
Sure. So prior to the pandemic, so in 2019, tourism in Canada was a $105 billion a year industry, employing 1.8 million Canadians. We are now at about half of that. And there are some segments of our industry that are at zero, where they have not had any revenue for the past 15 months. Yeah. So, getting the border open and allowing travelers to come back to our country is incredibly important to these businesses, not only so that they can start, generating a revenue for themselves, but so that they can do what they do best, and that is offer outstanding experiences to people who are visiting our communities.
I guess the thing that a lot of people don't understand, well, not necessarily understand, but it's not top of the mind when you think of tourism. You think of it, travel and the flying, right, and the hotels, etc. But it's all the other stuff that is supported by tourism, whether it's the restaurant in downtown Calgary, or it's the little retail shop that sells trinkets and stuff. So and clothing, and so it's all that ripple down effect, isn't it, that impacts everything?
It absolutely is. And when you look at, we're just a few days away from knowing whether or not there's going to be a Calgary Stampede this year. And you think about all of the visitors that come in for a Stampede in a normal year. And they don't just go to the Stampede. They stay in hotels, they stay in bed and breakfasts, they purchase souvenirs, but they also purchase clothing and food, and they go to the bars and the restaurants, and they will also take in other attractions. And so it's amazing the economic impact that an event can have. Yeah. And there are events in every community, every weekend, all summer long, that do just that. They drive people to come visit and to spend time in the community. And there's an economic impact that is attributed to that.
No, just recently, Beth, before I let you go, just recently, the association and a number of tourism groups came out with a couple of initiatives to help the tourism industry in the country. Let's talk a little bit about both. The first one, of course, is kind of supporting and encouraging Canadians to travel within the country and to seek out places. How important is that this year, especially?
So, again, because the industry has been so incredibly hard hit and the international visitors have not been here, what we're trying to do is convince Canadians to stay home this year and travel in Canada first, to really get to know your country and to support your neighbors. Your neighbors are the people that run those tourism businesses. And so we're asking Canadians to take the pledge to travel in Canada first this year.
Okay, and then the second part of that, there was a postcard campaign. Can you explain what that is about?
Absolutely. So with our partners at Destination Canada, they've launched a service that you can access through their website, destinationcanada.ca. And you can literally send a postcard that depicts some of the great iconic sceneries and venues from across the country to anyone you want to in the world. And you can customize the postcard just as if you were writing it yourself. And you click send and it will get posted to the person you're sending it to at no charge to you. So I'll tell you, I sent a postcard to my granddaughters, letting them know that I miss them very much and I can't wait to travel to see them. And I found out today that they received it in the mail. So isn't that fun?
That's excellent. Well, thanks very much, Beth, for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Mario.
Okay, that was Beth Potter, who is President and CEO of the Tourism Industry Association of Canada. This has been Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on YYC Business. Thanks for joining us today.